Hey y'all, I'm pretty excited about what I'm about to make for supper, and here's why. You know, I've talked about Rouse's, the new grocery store here in town that is based out of South Louisiana, Houma, Thibodaux area, and most of the stores are in and around the South Louisiana area. There are a couple on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and I think maybe even a couple in South Alabama, and we finally got one in my hometown in South Central Mississippi. Said all that to say, they have muffaletta bread. Have you ever had a muffaletta? You might say muffaletta, you might say muffaletta. I say muffaletta, however you say it. If you've never had one, let me tell you about it. So the best muffaletta, in my opinion, comes from a place called Central Grocery. That's in the French Quarter in New Orleans. Central Grocery made the muffaletta famous, although a lot of restaurants make muffalettas. But Rouse's had the Central Grocery olive salad, which is an integral part of the muffaletta. Muffaletta was made famous back over 100 years ago when Sicilians would come to the French market in the French Quarter to buy the ingredients that are in the muffaletta. Olive salad, and then the meats, mortadella, capicola, Genoa salami, and someone at Central Grocery noticed that those Sicilians were having trouble balancing all those ingredients that they were buying for their lunch. So they mashed them all together into a sandwich, and the muffaletta was born. So I have just taken some of the oil from that olive salad. Now, by the way, if you can't get olive salad where you live, and if you can't get this bread where you live, I'm gonna put a recipe for both at the end of this video. You can make your own bread. It's kind of like a focaccia, except it's crisper on the outside, it is soft on the inside, and it's just dense enough to absorb that olive oil that I just spread on there from the olive salad. It's a special kind of bread, and it's worth every bit of trouble you might have to go to find it. Okay, I'm gonna try to remember the order, but I'm probably gonna get this incorrect. There is a specific order to building this sandwich, but it's not that big of a deal if you don't get it right. I am going to start with one layer of salami, and you know, I like to have my deli meat cut very thinly. So I'm putting down a layer of that Genoa salami, and next I'm gonna add some provolone cheese. Now, a real muffaletta has provolone and mozzarella. I'm not a big fan of mozzarella cheese, so I'm just gonna do 2 layers of provolone. The cheese got stuck together because I failed to tell them that I wanted it cut a little thicker than the meat. That's okay. Instead of one slice, I'll just have a few pieces of provolone all over the top of that salami. Traditionally, this is a cold sandwich. I do like to heat mine though, so I will be wrapping this in foil and toasting it before I eat it. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. For the next layer, I'm gonna put some mortadella. If you can't get mortadella, it's okay. Just get whatever kind of salami and ham that you like to build this sandwich. As a matter of fact, I have 2 loaves of muffaletta bread, so I think I'm probably gonna put some chisaces on another one. You know, I already told you that's some delicious deli ham. And then we'll have a layer of capicola. Oh, this smells so good. Another layer of cheese. I do hate that my cheese is stuck together and I don't have one nice slice of provolone to put on there. And now, for the star of the show, olive salad. I'm putting a generous layer of olive salad all over the top. Now, one of the most important parts of a muffaletta takes patience. And if you know me, you know I lack patience. I'm gonna try hard to have patience today because you really wanna mash down on that sandwich with something heavy and leave it sitting there for as long as you can stand it. I'm gonna try to go 15 minutes, but I mean, overnight would be even better. I'm gonna toast mine. As I said before, traditionally, this is a cold sandwich and it'll be ready just as soon as it sits there for a few minutes, and that bread needs to soak up that olive salad. Okay, I've waited as long as I can. Now I'm just gonna transfer it to some foil. And I'm gonna put this in the oven with the skillet on top of it. I'm probably gonna leave it in about 10 minutes if I can. It's hot. I left it in for about 15 minutes. Aren't y'all proud of me? listen to that crusty bread. You ready? Let me get it off of that foil. Look at that sandwich. Now, muffaletta is usually cut into wedges like that, and I need a few chips. I usually just have a plain kettle cooked chip or a plain Lay's with a sandwich like this because I really don't like to mix any kind of flavors other than the one that I'm gonna enjoy on that sandwich. But Rouse's had these Cajun kettle cooked chips. Couldn't resist that. And they're good. Wow, that's good. What a delicious sandwich. It's rich, as you can imagine. So good. You know, whenever I buy one of these at Central Grocery, one sandwich is probably the size of this plate. And it really can serve 4 people. Boy, that muffaletta bread. Next best thing to be in there. Okay, y'all, go have a good day.